Welcome to the Concrete Briefing. I am your host, Carter Concrete. Today, we are not just reporting the news. We are dissecting a legacy. We are peeling back the layers of a cultural empire to understand how a titan of industry becomes a man navigating the cold, unforgiving shadows of his own creation. Tonight's briefing, the fall of the chairman, we are diving deep into the enigmatic, the controversial, and the embattled life of Harlem legend Dame Dash. Is he a visionary architect seeking a new era of unity? Or is he a man experiencing what the industry calls a leverage deficit? Strap in. This is a story of power, linguistic rebranding, and the high-stakes chess game of the entertainment business. To understand where we are, we must remember where we began. In the late 90s and early 2000s, the name Dame Dash was synonymous with the absolute pinnacle of luxury and power. As the co-architect of R.O. Koschutz, he didn't just sell music. He sold a lifestyle that defined a generation. But the narrative has shifted with a jarring, dramatic velocity. Today, the reports are stark. Dash has recently filed for bankruptcy. We've seen him in public appearances, most notably on The Breakfast Club, in moments described as crashing out. The journalistic reality is a tale of two trajectories. While his former partner, Jay-Z, has ascended to a level described as a global phenomenon, Dash's influence appears to have regressed. From building the fashion powerhouse Rocawear, he is now frequently found at the center of viral social media beefs with his Harlem peers. The tragedy here is the perceived destruction of a legacy through what critics call a bad attitude, a friction that has left him increasingly isolated as the walls of the industry close in. This brings us to the most recent chapter of this thriller, the friction with Cam'ron. This isn't just a neighborhood spat. It is a battle for the soul of Harlem's prestige. Dash has publicly expressed a desire to squash the conflict, citing pressure from Harlem O's who find the public bickering embarrassing. But pay attention to the argument Dash makes here. It is a masterclass in psychological framing. Dash argues that public conflict between black men is a trap, a mechanism of self-destruction orchestrated by outside forces. To avoid the pitfalls of the legal system and the physical violence that leads to incarceration, Dash has introduced a fascinating yet controversial linguistic shift. He classifies his strategy as legal violence. In Dash's world, a lawsuit is the only way to hit back. It is his tactical weapon to control the social media algorithm and silence narratives he deems unfavorable. Let's analyze the rhetoric. This is where we see the cultural history and the personality of the chairman on full display. Dash frequently invokes the imagery of cinema, specifically The Godfather. However, he makes a crucial distinction. He contrasts the Italian Godfather, who famously killed his own brother with his self-styled Black God archetype. According to Dash, his version of the Godfather is a mentor, a man who teaches his brother rather than destroying him. By using this language, Dash is attempting to rebrand desperation as discipline. He calls for real men to speak with masculinity. This is a rhetorical device intended to reclaim the power he has lost in the public eye, framing his legal battles not as a sign of failure, but as a form of high-level mentorship. In a move that caught the B2B sector off guard, Dash proposed a grand alliance. He invited heavyweights 50 Cent and Cam'ron to join him in creating a massive TV or movie project. His argument? Coming together would prove that hip-hop's icons can operate in unity. But as journalists and analysts, we must ask the hard question. Does Dame Dash have the leverage to make this happen? When we look at the current market, the disparity is glaring. 50 Cent is currently revitalizing the economy of entire cities, like Shreveport, Louisiana. Cam'ron is securing multi-million-dollar deals with global betting companies. Meanwhile, Dash is viewed by many as someone who can no longer change anything for anybody. Here's the analytical meat of the story. The fundamental argument against Dash is what we call the leverage deficit. In business, leverage is what you have to offer the market right now. Dash appears to be operating in a 1990s mindset. Believing his status as a great CEO decades ago should grant him power today. The reality? Hip-hop is not like professional sports. It rarely grants legacy points. In sports, a legend is respected for their past achievements, but in this culture, the market demands constant relevance. If you are not a creator who is popping every single year, you are not just standing still, you are regressing. Dash's name no longer carries weight at major distributors like Def Jam or brands like Revolt. When you propose a multi-million-dollar movie deal to people you are simultaneously suing, you ignore the most basic rule of business psychology. Trust is the foundation of leverage. You cannot burn a bridge and then ask for a ride across the water. The story of Dame Dash is a cautionary tale of market regression. He remains the chairman in his own mind, even as the market fails to reflect that status. While he speaks of the Blackadder philosophy and unity, the outside world sees a man whose legal violence has left him with more legal fees than allies. You cannot pay your bills based on who you were 25 years ago. Dash's tragedy is not just financial. It is a failure to adapt his leverage to the modern era. He wants the respect of the 90s with the technology of today. But the culture is asking one question: what have you done for us lately? This has been the Concrete Briefing. We analyze the power plays, we expose the reality of the game, and we tell the truth, no matter how hard it is to hear. I am your host, Carter Concrete. If you found this deep dive into the leverage of Dame Dash insightful, hit that notification bell and subscribe. We are out.